Welcome to South Charlotte Sports Report Live on a Wednesday night. I have a very special guest for you. She is one of the all-time greatest athletes at Marvin Ridge. She probably didn't want to hear that, but she was, and is now a diver at the University of Michigan. Nikki Canale, how are you doing tonight?
I'm great, thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your background, how you got started in your sport, and take us all the way to where you are now.
Yeah, so I started out with gymnastics when I was about 3 years old, did 9 years of that, and then transitioned. I kind of burned out a little bit, so I transitioned into the sport of diving, and I've been doing that ever since. So through Marvin Ridge, had a great career there, and then eventually wound up to get recruited by Michigan, and that's where I currently am.
Okay, so obviously we are in the pandemic right now. What is happening with the Michigan swim and diving program right now? What can you do? What can you not do?
Yeah, so we just got let back into our pool, Canam Natatorium. So that was super exciting. We've been back there for about a week and a half. So that's great. And competition-wise, we're not really sure. The Big Ten just reinstated football, so that's a good sign for moving forward with our competitions. But as for right now, we're just practicing. So
Okay, let's talk a little bit about your this will be your fourth year, if I am correct, at Michigan. I know you've been an All-American. Tell me a little bit about some of your accomplishments as a diver for the Wolverines.
yeah, so my freshman year, we had, as a team collectively, we had a great Big Ten championship, and we wound up winning that. And then this past year was my personal best year. I finaled, which is getting top 8 in both 1 meter and 3 meter at Big Tens. And unfortunately, we came short of the Big Ten title, but yeah, we had a great year this past year. Didn't get the chance to compete for the NCAA championships. That got canceled, but yeah.
You're competing on a big stage. You are in the Big Ten. You are at a wonderful university. How in the world did you go from Marvin, North Carolina to Ann Arbor, Michigan?
Yeah, it's very stressful, but I would say that just through club diving, like national championship meets and Olympic trials, I've definitely had some experience with competing at big meets. So I just kind of took what I knew, implemented that into what I'm doing today, and just tried to keep a steady focus and keep my head in the game at all times. So
What led you to choose Michigan?
Michigan was definitely a tough choice for me just because it's really far from home. But I think just the fact that you're surrounded by excellence here every day. I actually just got off a call with the CEO of the Miami Dolphins for a class. So, like, just the people that are associated with Michigan and the team and my head coach, like, all just wonderful, excellent people.
When I think of Ann Arbor and Michigan, I think of big. I've been there quite a few times. Everything is big there, from the football stadium to the campus to a great downtown area. What is Ann Arbor like to you?
Yeah, I love Ann Arbor. I mean, our stadium is literally called the Big House. So, like, we kind of, that mantra of just everything's bigger and better here is just something that Ann Arbor, it's a lot of wow factor. So, it means a lot to me, and I love it. It's a great city. So,
Let's go backwards. Let's go back home to Marvin Ridge, which is just a few miles down the road from me. You're up in Ann Arbor right now, so you're a long way from home. Tell me your favorite memories first as a member of the Marvin Ridge swim and dive team, and then I'm going to ask you something. I'm going to ask you about your favorite memory at Marvin Ridge as a student.
yeah, so definitely during my time at Marvin Ridge, we won 4 state championships. So, I mean, each and every one of those had their own different memory behind them. My freshman year, I got the chance to compete with my brother, who was a swimmer at the time. So, like, just doing that and being at one of the same championship meets with him, like, that was really fun for me. And just all 4 of those meets were super special.
And as a student, what are your memories of walking the hallways there?
Yeah, I think just like being surrounded by some of my best friends who I still talk to today and try and keep in touch with them. I don't know, Marvin Ridge is a very fun school, and just like from football games to the class environment, like I loved every minute of it. So
Let's talk a little bit about when you were in high school and middle school. Once you stopped doing gymnastics and went full bore into diving, you kind of had a crazy schedule, if memory serves me right. I mean, you had something very demanding, and it wasn't like you just stepped right off campus at Marvin Ridge and went and found a diving board. Tell us where you had to go to and what that was like.
So I actually took an intermission for 2 years from Marvin Ridge and enrolled into a private school called Grace Academy, and it was 4 days a week, 8 to 12, and then I would drive 45 minutes to an hour, depending on traffic, up to Huntersville, and that was the closest diving facility near us. So it was quite the hike.
Your best dive. If they tell you you got to go win this championship for us, but it's your choice of what you want to do, what is your dive you're going to?
Um, I would say probably front 3.5 tuck, which is just like it's on 3 meter and it's just 3.5 flips in like a tuck position. But that one always seems to come in pretty clutch for me. So
Now, I'm going to sound a little bit non-educated on diving here. You're either a platform diver or you're diving off of is it called a springboard dive? And you are springboard.
mhm.
Okay. So your highest dive is 3 meters?
Mhm.
Okay.
Well,
No, you go higher than that, right?
yeah, so at Michigan we do both platform and springboard, but I definitely consider myself more springboard oriented.
Okay. What are you studying up there?
Sport management.
Sports management?
Mhm.
So what do you want to do with that?
I'm not really sure yet. I'm kind of figuring out if I want to apply for grad school and take a 5th year or enter the workforce. But the sport industry, like, they're kind of hurting a lot right now just because of COVID and all of the changes in sports. So just kind of trying to figure that out. Yeah.
All right. Your mom and dad are going to get very mad at me. Take the 5th year.
Yeah, I know. They're kind of pushing for that too. So we'll
Okay.
see.
Take that. And I would say this to anyone. The job market is not what you need it to be right now. You've got to let sports come back. You've got to let people get back in the stands. It's a tough market.
Mm-hmm.
Once you leave Michigan, it's tough to go back. So stay there as long as you can. I highly recommend that. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else do we want to talk about? Let's go back. When you look around at a lot of your teammates in college, are most of them former gymnasts?
Yeah, a lot of them. Almost roughly like 70 or 80% of divers are former gymnasts. So a lot.
What's your advice to a gymnast now that may be facing some different obstacles? And I know different things lead to different obstacles in youth gymnastics, but is your advice don't be afraid to explore diving?
Yeah, I would say definitely don't be afraid to explore diving. And if you are, the transition from gymnastics to diving is very easy. Like the skills are relatively like not the same, but they have a lot of similarities. So most great divers start out as gymnasts. So don't be afraid to take that jump and transition. It's pretty easy.
Anything, let's have a fun question here. Is there any restaurant? I always ask people about food when I talk to them. Any favorite restaurant or favorite place back here at home that you really miss?
Nothing but noodles. I know
That's it. Okay.
I love that restaurant.
I got a feeling downtown Ann Arbor or something like that, right?
Yeah, they have Noodles and Company, but it's just not the same.
Well, Nikki, I really appreciate you joining me. It's always exciting to talk to someone that we kind of grew up with. I mean, I remember hearing about you just way back in middle school, and look at you now, you're in your fourth year of college. So I'm so proud of the job you're doing. I know you're doing well in the classroom. You're making your family and you're making all of Marvin Ridge and all of South Charlotte very, we lost her. I was telling her how wonderful and how proud we are. Let's see. She's coming back. Here we go. Hold on. You're back. I was telling you how proud of you your community is, and how we hope you continue to do well, and we will continue to follow you. But I really appreciate you joining us tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's an honor to be here. It's a privilege. So thank you.
Make us proud once the season starts, okay?
Yeah, I will.
Everyone, I appreciate you joining me tonight. It's been super exciting to have Nikki with us tonight. We'll be back again with another guest tomorrow night. Thank you, and have a great night.